We're going to be replacing the 3-blade plastic impeller with the Push Industries 4-blade steel impeller. In general, I've been pretty happy with the plastic impeller. I have a paved driveway. There's not too many chips. It doesn't throw it all that far, and I think it's mostly this clearance more than it being plastic. But I'm looking to get as much range as possible, so I'll do this upgrade. Push Industries has a fantastic video on YouTube, so I watched that and I put together all the steps. But they did it on a brand new machine. This one's 2 years old. It's been through 2 winters. I have some rust in there and some other places, so we'll see if it goes as easy as it did in the Push Industries video. So we're going to support the gear case and then remove the gear case bracket. So it looks like it's all metric. These bottom ones are 13 millimeter and the top ones are 15 millimeter. Right there. Just gonna put these here so I don't lose them. Now onto the bearing carriers. These are 13 millimeter. These are also very loosely torqued. They're coming right off. And I'm just double checking. I see 2 spacers here and 2 spacers there, so it's the same on both sides. Okay, now moving on to the set screws. Let's see what size these are. They're Allen. This is a 5, too big. And here's a 4, way too small. Okay, so either a 4.5 or they're jumping back and forth between metric and English, which I think is the case. Here's a 3/16. That is a nice snug fit. So these are English 3/16. And these are tight. I'm actually just going to spray a little bit of penetrating oil there. So these are just set screws, I believe, so we're not going to take them all the way out. Oh, that's moving nice, good. And then there's a key back here. And that isn't loose. hit it again. I might gently tap that. Just gonna bang it with something plastic. That is not moving. That's probably good news. This spins freely. And this is what I mean, the Push Industries video. This thing just fell right out. I don't see any movement on it yet. So with a little more of this. Croil. I'm actually thinking that set screw is not important to take out as long as it doesn't fall out. And since it's stuck, I'm just going to leave it and remove the auger assembly. So we're going to make sure this is top dead center so that these two clear this. There's no weight on that. I guess I'm just going to pull it out. And then I think it's going to hit here and here on the auger, so I put some padding. Yeah, it's coming. Oh. Okay, there's the spacers. Not a big deal. And that came right out. Nice. So now we're going to try to stand this up and tap out the keyway. While that soaks in there, I'll give a closer look. So that's the keyway, and what they did in the video is they just used this to tap it out. I'm just letting the croil soak in there for a little bit. No, it's moving. Nice. Nice and easy. Fantastic. There it is. So it's still in really good shape. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with this plastic impeller. Just a little scratched. I didn't mind it. I just want to throw farther. While the back here is super accessible, I'm just gonna give it a quick clean. Putting in a little bit of grease, so if I ever have to do this again, hopefully it doesn't get all bound up. Some people use Never Seas. I like that as well, but I usually use Never Seas when it's high temperature. All right, let's see it. Nice. All right, we're flying through these steps. Take key. Couldn't quite do that, it was stuck. But didn't prevent us from removing the assembly. We rotated a blade to top dead center. We removed the assembly. Used the impeller to tap out the key. We installed the new impeller. We're flying. Just a tiny bit of grease. Seemed like it almost clicked in, which is going to be good as we line it up. So one of the pro tips in the Push Industries video is to hold these, hold these washers on, spacers, with the thinnest zip tie you have. So now we're going to reinstall the auger, and honestly it looks pretty tough to do with one person, but we're going to give it a shot. Yeah, I'm sure there's a technique to this, but it is kind of tough. I got that angled part of the blade here, grabbing, and not much space up here. And then these are really tight. So I think I'm just gonna struggle with this for a little bit, but it should go in. Okay, I got it in, and there was definitely some difficulties. This serrated part would kind of grab here, and what I noticed is when I took the old one out, because I don't have it attached to the tractor, the bottom fell here, so it was at an angle, and that was the majority of my difficulty. Once I put a spacer there and I rocked this whole thing back flat, it seemed to line up. The other thing that helped is taking this impeller and moving it as close to the auger as possible. That allows you to see kind of behind it and line up the key. But it is in there. It is definitely tighter clearance than the old one. I think I just want to get one of these bolts in before I take the zip tie off. So I installed it and I thought I was good, but this was spinning freely. There's no key in the impeller. The hexagon bolt here engages a hex shape on here. So I got the key on, but this still spins freely. So this has to slide one more and engage the hex on the impeller. And I think that's probably pretty easy to tell if you got it right, if you can see the keyway right here. So now that that's on, all the way back and flush against the impeller, we can tighten these set screws again. And I can also tell these set screws are going a lot farther because they're hitting a flat on the shaft, where before they weren't hitting the flat. Yeah, that one's in. It does appear there might have been red Loctite on this, and that's why it was so hard to get off. I didn't put red Loctite on it, but I am gonna make sure I keep an eye on these to make sure they're not backing out. But I think we're in good shape here. Nice and snug. These are grade 10.9, so they're pretty strong. And you might have saw the camera work get quite a bit better the second half of the video. Thanks to baby and mama.